is enough. As women, we demand to be treated equal to men. Equal rights! Equal rights! Equal rights! What was that? What was that?
Ladies, foreign countries just attacked the U.S. We're drafting all you women to the front lines.
Wait, what? What?
This is what you all wanted, right? Equality to men?
That's not what we meant.
You can't have it both ways. You want to be equal to men. It's across the board, which means let's go, private! On the bus now! Now! Move it! Move it! Move it! Don't worry, girls. We'll take care of the kids while you're gone, and we'll write you every day. Watch out for bullets. Keep your head down. All right, guys. One in Bachelor at my house tonight. Guys, we should have done this feminist stuff a long time ago.
Now, as women, we demand to be treated equal to men. Equal rights! Equal rights! Equal rights! What was that? What was that?
Ladies, foreign countries just attacked the U.S. We're drafting all you women to the front lines.
Wait, what? What?
This is what you all wanted, right? Equality to men?
That's not what we meant.
You can't have it both ways. You want to be equal to men. It's across the board, which means let's go, private! On the bus now! Now! Move it! Move it! Move it! Don't worry, girls. We'll take care of the kids while you're gone, and we'll write you every day. Watch out for bullets. Keep your head down. All right, guys. One in Bachelor at my house tonight. Guys, we should have done this feminist stuff a long time ago.
Enough is...
All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and others of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando, and saw this clip, and of course, because there's always truth when it comes to comedy. All right, and although, again, this may be some sort of a funny skit, nevertheless, it's true, which is why comedy is often funny, because it's true, but nevertheless, when it comes to you women, as we've been seeing, and as it's only going to get harder for you women, because as you've been finding out, and it's only going to continue to get worse for the majority of these women out here. All right. For the simple fact that, hey, one way or the other, you got to find out. All right. Now, what's beautiful about it, here it is, the way that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai deals with his men, because in this thing of ours, the Lord constantly breaks us down and builds us back up, and it's a constant process, basically being tried and going through the fire, right? Matter of fact, what comes to mind, because this is the house of David that is being established, right? Which I'm going to get this account real quick, which for those that have ears to receive, bear with me. Through the process of reincarnation, in Matthew 16 and 18, and I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. All right. So again, because for those that have ears to receive, Peter being King David. All right. And I just wanted to grab that real quick, because when you go to this, speaking of Peter in Matthew 26, because like I said, this thing of ours, it is a constant thing of the Lord breaking us down to build us back up. All right. Which is a thing of humility. All right. And there is a great humbling coming to you women. All right. Matthew 26 and I'm going to start at verse 20, Matthew 26, I'm going to start at 69. Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also was with Yahushua of Galilee. because Yahushua had already told Peter, that Peter was going to deny Yahushua 3 times. And of course, Peter being in denial, because Peter was the Apostle Peter. He was what you could say a ride or die, right? It says, but he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Yahushua of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And after a while came unto him they that stood by, and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. Then began he to curse them and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew, as Yahushua told him, when the cock crowed, right? Reading verse 75 is the point. But Peter remembered the word of Yahushua, which said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. So you see, because again, Yahushua had already told Peter what was going to happen. But of course, Peter being in that, basically that overzealous spirit, like I said, that ride or die, Lord, I'll never leave you, Lord. You're crazy. I'll never leave you, Lord. I'll never tell you, never. But sure enough, when the Apostle Peter remembered what Yahushua had told him, and in fact, it came true, it came to pass. This is the point, because it said, and he went out and wept bitterly. So what's the overall message? Basically, this right here, after this, the Apostle Peter, he was broken. All right. He was greatly humbled. All right. So much that when it came down, because, Apostle Peter, he was crucified like Yahushua, but the Apostle Peter was so humbled, he was so broken, he was so shattered, all right, that he didn't even want to be crucified like Yahushua, because he was just that jacked up, But that's the point, all right. The Apostle Peter, he was broken, all right. He was humbled greatly. And again, going back to what I was saying earlier, the fact that, as I read, this is, again, the tabernacle of David, because for the elect, it's going to be a constant process of being humbled. All right. The Lord building us up just to break us down. To build us down, just to build us back up. All right. So overall, what am I saying is, again, like I said, the fact that Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah is dealing with his men like this, what makes you women think that you're any different, that you're any special, as it's been taught by, as of right now, who your God is, who your husband is, who your master is, the so-called white man. All right. And putting you women up on a pedestal. All right. And, you women really thinking and believing that you're greater than men. It's not even a thing of being equal to, you women have become just so delusional. All right. You really just so out of your mind. Like I said, it's past the point of believing that you're equal to. No, you women think that you're far superior to men. All right. So that's why something that I always say, because, you women, you want equal rights. Well, hey, expect an equal left with it, too, because Yahweh Shemal Shai, he's not biased whatsoever. All right. You see all these videos coming out because, we're in a time where, hey, these dudes are tired. These dudes are fed up of this whole feminism movement. All right. And it's getting to the point. It's been to the point where these dudes, man, they don't care no more. A woman, she'll put hands on a man, right? A man twice her size, right? Thinking that she won't get knocked out. Well, you're sadly mistaken. All right. You're sadly mistaken, because again, these dudes, man, they don't care anymore. but not even on like a physical level. It's, more so, spiritually and emotionally, right? Mentally. All right. It's just to the point where, again, a lot of these dudes, a lot of men, and this is why we don't see functioning households. All right. Healthy relationships. All right. The household's all destroyed, because who runs the household? Really, the children do, and women having a childlike mindset, they let the children run the household. And of course, the women they're going to follow, you know. And, you see why a lot of dudes, man, they just end up just walking away, And at this point, can't really even blame them, because if a man steps out on his family, 9 times out of 10, because ain't no dude in their right mind is just going to, walk out, 9 times out of 10, it has something to do with just the lack of order. And that's essentially what it boils down to, order, a lack of it. Right. Because the women are completely out of order. All right. Completely out of order. And again, men are fed up, and that's why when it comes to this great humbling that's getting ready to take place. All right. You women are going to get back in order. All right. You women are going to learn your place. All right. You're going to remember your place. I did a video not too long ago, just touching on how you women, man, you're going to revert back to your natural state. All right. And being in possession. Because it sounds good, right? Feminism. Thinking that you're better than men. All this equal rights bullshit. Right. But when it comes down to it, because I remember there was a little scare, a couple of years ago about a mandatory draft. And you had all these women coming out talking about they don't want to join no army. They don't want to join no military. They'd rather be housewives, because women are not set up. You're not created for war and being in stressful environments and things of that nature, That's why, like I said, I did the video last week, when you had 10 men on the island, 10 women on the island. And, the majority of the women, they just don't know how to function in that type of an environment. And it's not made for you to function in that type of environment. And that's why that's where the what do you call it? The balance of it comes in, because men and women, they're supposed to complement one another, because men are built for stressful situations. Men are survivalists, and again, women simply aren't, but that's not to say that you don't have your place, in other things, when you play your part, it's not to say that, women are just, well, I can't even say that at this point, because at this point, for the most part, women are unfortunately are useless, because I was going to say, to be fair, because again, women aren't just completely useless. But I mean, at this point, like I said, man, the majority of these women, they're so far gone. It's unfortunate to say, but the majority of these women are just useless, completely useless, But when you're playing your natural role, all right, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful thing, you talk about being a strong woman. A strong woman is a woman that knows her place. All right. A strong woman is a woman that knows that's actually a woman. Because what is a woman? A woman is a female servant. All right. And when you play your roles accordingly, that's a real strong woman. All right. A real woman, a real strong woman. All right. But you women have to be reminded of your roles, all right, and where you fit in the food chain, all right, and that's why this humbling has to take place, because, again, we see, these women set up in these positions of power. What does it lead to? What has it bred? Nothing but chaos and confusion. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab this. You know, it's all fun and games until it's not. And you women, you've been able to have your way. You've been able to play around and, you know, have fun. All right. But now it's coming back to bite you in the ass. You know, Proverbs 9:13, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. All right. So you see, because again, you women, you fell for it. You know, you fell for the snares of the devil. All right. Going back to the Gardenian Pact. All right. And again, this is you're wondering why. Again, you know, this information is brought out all the time about these women, and you know, you're wondering why. You're questioning why men don't want to approach you. Men don't want to take you serious. You know, here it is. You know, women are looking for a traditional man, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion are you a traditional woman. That's foolish. All right, that's foolish. You know. To think a man wants to take you serious, here it is. And again, because men and women are built different. All right. Again, you talk about equal rights. Well, look at what it's gotten you. You know, multiple children by multiple baby daddies, right? Multiple men, right? And here it is. You think that increases your value when in fact that decreases your value. You know. Vice versa, a man, the more women that he, you know, has, that he's intimate with, it pretty much increases his value. But you see, you women, all right, because you're chasing that power, all right, you know, because it's all a competition, you know, and it doesn't need to be so, you know, and again, it's quite frankly, it's foolish to think that way, to be in competition with a man. What are you trying to be? What are you in competition for? Like I said, a man and a woman, they're supposed to complement one another, you know. And most of these women, most of you women, your testosterone levels are too high. You know, here it is, you're in the in the being in the work field, right? You know, which that was all set up by the elites, you know, to pretty much, you know, not only tax the man, but to tax the woman as well. You see, and there's again, it's a whole agenda, and you women fell for it. That's why, again, you're foolish. All right, because the fact that you're in the work field in the first place, right? You're being surrounded by all these other men, you know, and believe it or not, all right, because again, you women, you're like sponges. So you being in the work field, you take on these other spirits, you know. And that's why a lot of you women become aggressive. You know, it's something that I've noticed. I noticed, you know, women that are in the workforce, being especially working around a bunch of other men. Again, you take on those spirits, and you wonder why you come home and you're combative to your husband if you got one. You know, you become more aggressive. You know, because you're attracting all those spirits, being around all those conquering spirits, you know, and you bring that energy home. And again, you just wonder why you're single. You can find a man. It's easy to find a man, but getting one, actually keeping one and you know, having one take you serious, that's a whole nother story. But you wonder why, right? And got the nerve to blame men, got the nerve to blame the world, right? For your foolishness. You see, thinking that you have it all, but as it just said, you don't nothing. All right. A foolish woman, she is clamorous and knoweth nothing. You know, you think you got it all figured out. Again, it's a strong delusion. You women are delusional, and you're in for a real reality check. All right, a major reality check. All right. You know, talking about you got a PhD and a master's and all this, and what has it gotten you? None but debt. You're foolish. All right, and you still don't know them, still know nothing with all those PhDs and degrees. You still know nothing. You know, I remember watching what's that? Because again, this is why a woman, she doesn't need to whatsoever be in any position of authority. Because it leads to nothing but chaos and confusion. I remember watching that Predator movie, or I think it was called The Prey, or Predator, the one that came out on Hulu, and it was basically dealing with the Northern Kingdom, you know. And of course, it was on some pretty much some, you know, woke, some wokeness, you know, some woman empowerment, you know. And at the end, basically, you know, when you watch the movie, she ended up conquering, and basically she ended up being like the head of the tribe or whatever, you know. And I remember thinking to myself, well, because it was a good movie, make no mistake about it. But nevertheless, the fact that, you know, she was put in this position of power, I remember thinking, well, there goes the neighborhood, you know, because again, women don't need to be in power. All right. Because the scriptures say she's deprived of wisdom, you know, she's deprived of wisdom. You see, and that's where the logic thinking of a man comes in, you know, because again, women, that's just not your nature. That's just not your lot. All right. And this is why, hey, you know, you get yourself onto a man of understanding, because when it comes to being in subjection to an Israelite man, a man of Yahweh Shem Shai, you might call it tyranny or whatever, but no, you know, you women, you think according to your emotions and how you feel, you know. Men think outside the box, all right? Men think long term. Men think with reason and logic, all right? So when he makes a decision, it might not make sense to you. You might not agree with it, but you best believe, and I'm talking about an Israelite man, all right? A man of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know. You best believe he has your best interests at heart, whether you like it or not, whether you disagree, agree, whatever the case may be, all right? You best believe he knows best, all right? They talk about happy wife, happy life. Listen, every brother has their saying when it comes to that statement, which has been proven to be nothing but false, all right? Every brother has their saying. My saying is, if he wins, everybody wins, all right? Because he has the gift of vision, you know, having that vision, you know. And as a woman, you're just supposed to further his enterprise, you know. And it's the same concept dealing with us in Yahweh Bashim Shai. Yahweh Bashim Shai is our husband, and, you know, he has our best interests at heart, all right, you know, and we submit to our head, our husband, you know. But nevertheless, you know, that's why, again, because when this topic comes up, you know, it's like nails on a chalkboard for these women, for these simps, all right, which these simps got to go, you know. You know, man, and you women are going to find out. You women are going to find out, you know. I meditate on it all the time in the kingdom. Now, for a while, I imagine, you know, because brothers going to have their many wives and concubines, all right. And brothers going to have some bad brothers when it comes to Shedemites, you know. Brothers going to have the baddest, all right. And that's, you know, that's fair, you know, because Esau, they did it to our woman, you know. Now, we're not going to commit adultery, you know, or anything like that with Esau and his woman. But for the longest, you know, I had the attitude that, hey, man, when it comes to Shesaw, you know, because, again, brothers going to have concubines, which includes Shedemites as well, you know. But as of recently, I changed our mindset because, I mean, you know, though Eve, she's the least desirable right now, especially the so-called black woman, you know, and You got to get what's best for you, what's conducive for you in the type of environment that you're in. So, I mean, if you're going to get you something, brothers' advice, hey, you hear the apostles, hey, stay away from the Eve, stay away from the so-called black woman. All right. Hell, stay away from Eve, period. Get you a little concubine, get you a little Sheetamite, and like I said, as of recently, I changed my mindset, because in the kingdom, like I said, you get what's conducive for you in your environment. All right. And right now, Eve is not conducive. You be best just getting you. Well, you be best just staying by yourself, not dealing with any woman, but, we're men. So, best advice would to be to get you get you a concubine. They're definitely more in order than Eve. All right. But for brothers that do get, them Shedemites in the kingdom, which I don't see it. Like I said, as of recently, I changed my mindset, because Eve, like I said, as of right now, she's the least desirable. All right. No one wants to really deal with Eve. But in the kingdom, Eve is going to be the most sought for, especially the so-called black woman. We talk shit. Well, we talk truth, I'll say that. We don't talk shit. We talk truth. The so-called black woman, or just even general, she's just the least desirable. But hey, when you get your stature back in the kingdom, hey, Eve, she's going to be the bad man, and she's going to be the most desirable. Right. And to the point where, hey, we're going to be in our kingdom. So I don't feel the need to, chase any, get any, I'm not going to say chase, but, getting any Shedemites. But for brothers that do, I can imagine, because, we talk about how Esau, he's going to have to be separated. He's just not going to be able to be amongst the nations, and that applies to Eve too. Eve is going to be whooping the shit out of them Shedemite concubines, man, because she's been beguiled, she's been beguiled, she don't see it now, because she's still in that foolish state, even still in that delusional state. But the time is going to come, when Eve is in her right mind, she's going to realize, like, damn, I really did that. And it's going to be all good in the kingdom. Make no mistake about it. Like I said, Jacob's going to be in their right mind. Eve is going to be in their right mind, and everything's going to be all good. Eve is going to be in order, right? But like it tells you in Isaiah 4, I'm going to grab that. Because you woman, you got to learn. You got to be purged just like the men, the put through the fire, just like the men, Isaiah 4. And this is actually talking about the actual woman. Isaiah 4. I'm going to start at verse 3. Verse 4. Isaiah 4:4. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. So you see, the majority of you women, hey, you ain't gonna make it, quite frankly. You are not gonna make it. All right. You're not exempt from judgment, like I said, as you've been taught and as you believe by your current husband, your Lord, your God, your King, your Savior, Esau, the so-called white man. You're untouchable. All right. You're not held accountable. All right. And you're exempt. Well, you might be exempt, from Esau for a period of time, but even Esau is going to stab you in the back. And again, majority of you are already starting to find it out. You're starting to feel it. Jake don't want to deal with you, and everything that I said, men don't want to take you serious or anything like that, but newsflash, rude awakening that's coming, you're going to find out. You're not exempt from judgment. All right. And the majority of you women are going to end up perishing in the fire as well. If you somehow make it through Jacob's trouble. All right. But for the very few handful of you women, all right, Yahweh Shemal Shai has you on reserve for a man of Yahweh Shemal Shai. You know, just keep learning. You know, keep playing your part. Keep being patient. Keep praying. And Yahweh Shemal Shai will eventually pair you with a man of Yahweh Shemal Shai because, he is your meal ticket. All right. You know, through childbearing shall you women be saved. Through a man of Yahweh Shemal Shai, you will be saved. You know, but to the rest, y'all can kick rocks. You know, the majority of you are too far gone, past the point of no return. So, Lord, one of this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shemal Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully let